Hello, my name is Gabriela. I'm actually doing my thesis project. The name is thing related to the export plant-based meat related to organic quinoa to India. And for this reason, I will have here one of the experts who will help me with the interview. His name is Malhotra Shiven. How are you today? And I would like you to please explain something a little bit about the food in India with your knowledge.
Okay. Thank you, Gabby. I'm Shivan. So I used to work in the hotel industry in India, where I worked in kitchens, which also did Indian food. So I feel like I have a good knowledge of Indian food, and I can share that. I think first thing to worth pointing out about India as a country is that we are a majority a vegetarian country. So more than half of the country actually does not eat meat, and it's mainly a plant-based diet which people use. So of course it's better for the environment. It's you get more calories out of vegetarian food. So somehow that is kind of part of how things are in India, like how the diet is in India. So more people tend to be vegetarian than non-vegetarian.
Mhm. Correct. You were also explaining me something about that just in the last few years, people in India have get to know the quinoa. So, do you think it would become very popular in this country?
Yeah, I think quinoa also has good scope to become popular. I think last 5 years, quinoa started getting more popular in the world. People started knowing it's a superfood. So even the popularity spread to India also, and people do use it. But still, I think there needs to be more awareness, and it needs to be locally grown so that it can
Mm-hmm.
become more popular. Because right now maybe they are importing it, so means more cost, less
Mm-hmm.
access. So I think if it was actually produced in India, it'll start becoming more popular also.
Do you think people from India actually feel some value about locally grown things and organic products?
Um, well, locally grown, yes, because also India has such a big population. It helps keep costs down, and it also gets jobs if it's locally made. So overall, it's a good thing. In terms of organic vegetables, yeah, I mean, or the more organic your product is, I think it's more chance of people buying it, as people are becoming more health conscious. They want better ingredients, and they want less chemicals in their food. So I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people are going more towards organic food also.
Will probably they be able to pay a little bit more for this characteristic in their food?
Yeah, because also you have to realize that India is such a big population. There's very
Mm-hmm.
poor people also, but there's the very rich also. So definitely the rich can afford to pay more for their organic vegetables, and they do pay more for better quality.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a market.
All right. Um, all right. This is a little bit more about the online questions I was talking to you about. So, how often do you think population in India eat vegetable or plant-based meat or plant-based
So
protein?
again, I mean, I'm just saying on average. I think on average, a typical Indian family would maybe eat meat like chicken or beef or pork. I would say 2 to 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Still be more plant-based. So some days maybe they'll just do a combination of vegetables and lentils and
Mm-hmm.
rice.
Mm-hmm.
The next day they might do lentils and meat and rice. So I mean, but definitely still more towards vegetarian than meat.
All right. And which of the following attributes is the most important to you, taking into account that um, it's related to products. Which one do you think is the most important once you choose which product are you going to buy? Brand, taste, or the price?
I think the price followed by the taste, followed by the brand.
All right. And how much do you think, like in an average, more or less, would people pay for, I don't know if you checked in the survey I sent you, it was like one slice of vegetable meat with organic quinoa. Just one slice like a burger. How much would that pay for that?
They're buying this in the store?
Yes, I mean, yes, one of the ways to get to the people would be supermarkets, mini markets.
Yeah, I think I can see people be willing to pay up to maybe $2, like $1 to $2 for a patty in the supermarket. But
and in the
India is very sorry.
The common presentation for the packaged plant-based meat, how is it, more or less? I don't know if you can explain it.
Well, usually the packaging when it's done for these plant-based meats, they like to have very green looking packages, green or yellow, which kind of tells you more that it's a vegetable than a meat. Whereas, the meat would use like a red or a brown kind of color to show,
yes,
to for the message to register in your mind. But usually they're kind of green. You can see the product, so you see it's fresh. So that's usually how I've seen it.
All right. Would you think? Do you think it's a good idea to get a product like vacuum packed? I think that's what it said. The name of it. And I was thinking about this slice of meat that you tell me that most of the people would pay probably $1.50, $2. I would rather to incorporate like 4 slices in a vacuum packed. How much would you pay for that in India?
In India, let's see. I would imagine about.
I have one kind of an example here. I don't know if you can see it. This is actually plant-based meat, but there's just 2 slices of it.
Okay.
And I would like to incorporate 4 slices, vacuum packed, with all the labels, with all the specifications. I don't know how much do you think would people be able to pay for that?
I mean, it depends. I think the people who are interested in buying it will buy it even for $7 for the pack. But if you want to, keep it accessible for everyone, then you got to keep it under $5, let's say, for 4. But the people who have the money are interested, they will buy it at $7 for the pack or $10 for the pack. It's just how you set your pricing.
Get it. Which one do you think is the most common way for people to get the products? In supermarkets, organic fairs, mini markets?
In India, it's more mini markets because again the space is less. So each neighborhood has a few mini markets.
Okay.
So you've got a better chance of reaching the people if you went to the mini markets, because the supermarkets supermarket is somewhere people would go maybe once a month, but a mini market they'll go multiple times a week. I need to get milk or I need to get bread, whereas supermarket you go for bigger purchases. So I think a mini market will give you a chance, the best chance to get in homes.
Great. And just the last thing, I don't know much about the culture in India. I don't know if you guys are really into these social networks. Internet is very popular in there.
Yes.
Which one would you think is the better way to get to people, like being them to be informed, giving them some information, discounts, promotions about the products?
I think given the profile of the product also, since it's something people are learning about, it's a new thing, it's a new healthy thing to do. And social media is big in India also, so I think social media is going to be your best way to do it, because you want the people who are the top influencers, they will eat your burger, say it's great, and then the people who want to follow that trendy healthy lifestyle will follow them much easily. Because again, with the other methods, you might getting a very different kind of customer mix. Like your people, you would have less of a target with the other ones compared to social media, I think. So I think social media would be your best bet. Also, to reach out to the right crowd. I think social media would be best, followed by internet ads, followed by TV, and then radio, and then flyers.
And also, I have heard that there is like a lot of status in India, like, I don't know, a lot of hierarchical order or something like that. I don't know if you can explain me something about this.
So it was like a social hierarchy, a social structure. It was based on old beliefs in religion, this and that. But it's changed now. Now it's as simple as being a socio-economic hierarchy. So like basically, the more, if you're poor, you're on the bottom. If you're rich, you're on top. So I think it's become more about your money rather than your family. Of course, they are interrelated, but I think it's more about your economic standing.
All right, I'll get it. And also, I asked you something about the minimum wage in India, and you told me that it was kind of tricky to get it. Why is exactly this? Why there is no like established? I mean,
it's very hard because again, India has very poor people who maybe survive on less than $1 a day, but because where they are living, their purchasing power is like they make $20 a day. Just because where they are, they can buy more with that money. And in the city, it's different. Like your money isn't worth as much than it is where there are less people. So it's kind of hard saying. And then also, you've got people lifting dirt all day, making $1, but then you also have the CEO making $1 million in a day. So it's just too all over the place. I know there are some numbers, like if you go to IMF website or you go to Wikipedia, they'll say it's $10 or $3. So I mean it just varies for
it depends if it's a woman or if it's a man. It also depends a lot about the gender, right?
Yeah. India is changing. It was also a very machismo, very paternalistic kind of environment. I mean, a lot more women are working now, and hopefully that continues. But still, there is a lot to catch up. For example, in the in the wage gap there and things like that.
All right, Shivan. So I will ask you some questions, but that would be all for the interview today. I appreciate so much. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. No problem.